It's the Luton Town show, or as we call it, beer and breakfast at the Brickies. Did you get breakfast on the way in? Yeah,
I had some Weetabix.
Yeah, I should.
But not the Weetabix, the Aldi own Weetabix.
Oh yeah, it's all the same, isn't it?
Pretty much. It tastes better, I think. No, not Aldi. Asda. Sorry, Aldi's Weetabix is rubbish.
Oh, is it?
So is Tesco's.
So it's not all the same?
No, Asda's Weetabix is as close to the real Weetabix as you'll get.
Oh, really? Well, I'll have to try that out. But I'm not a breakfast person. But where are my manners with me today? I got Wedge. How are we going on,
Wedge? The Weetabix genius.
Yeah. He will do a Pepsi challenge with Weetabix. Line them up. He will taste them all. And he will tell you which one is Aldi. Pretty much. As always, we're here to just talk about Luton Town, and it's been a good old time. I mean, we're still 23rd in the table, but it's looking a bit better after, well, not a win, but playing
a good performance.
A good performance, and it was against possibly the best team in the championship, I will say.
The best team after 38 games in a season.
They played the best football.
Yeah.
And, they might not be top of the table. We did Sheffield United a favour, and they couldn't do us a favour. I'll save my language.
We know what they are.
I had it out with Jimmy from Blades Ramble as well. I said, what is the point of you guys? Like, we did you a favour. You could have done us a favour.
Yeah, we let them nick a 1-0 win against us, and they can't return the favour. But no, yesterday was, I think it was a fair result.
Yeah.
I think neither team did enough to win. I think we did enough not to lose, and Leeds didn't do enough to win. So I think a draw was a very fair result.
But we didn't let Leeds.
No.
Also, for reference, this will be going out on Monday. So when we say yesterday, we're referring to Saturday's early morning kickoff. 12:30 kickoff against Leeds, which we are delighted about.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we haven't actually spoken about it.
No.
Yeah.
So
this
we
is the
don't
first
know
time we're going to have a little chat.
Yeah. But yeah, I think it was just it was a pleasing performance.
After so many terrible performances.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like, there have been games where we would have capitulated, but we defended like absolute champions, encapsulated by Chris Makoso.
Yeah, that last-ditch challenge right at the end.
Unbelievable.
But, I mean, that was really the only time they properly played through us, really. They had one or two, kind of counter-attacking options, but I think defensively it's something over the last 3-4 games we've not seen all season. And when we are on the back foot, I actually have that little bit of, I think we'll be all right. I think we're defending. I don't think we're going to concede here,
Yeah.
Whereas all season it's been like, here we go, freeze falls.
Kaminsky had a good game, I would say, for the most part, because especially at the beginning of the game, they did get through us, and they had a shot on target which sort of pinballed around them, and then they had a go.
Yeah.
And Kaminsky got down low, saved.
Well, the kind of Seaman-esque save.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that was good.
From that free kick. It was a free kick, wasn't it?
Was it a free kick?
That's the one I'm thinking of. It was a terrible free kick from the wing, and it kind of bounced.
Yeah, it bounced around, and then someone got. Yeah,
that was a great save by Kaminsky. I know Daniel James had a header very, very early on where Makoso slipped. But apart from that, I honestly don't think, and I think we've been berating him a lot this season. But I think Amari Bell.
It's been justified, the beration.
Yeah, absolutely.
Across the team.
But I think considering who he was up against yesterday, I think Mario Bell had a very, very good game. I was a little bit apprehensive with knowing that Daniel James out on the right against Mario Bell, but I think, give him his due, he played very well yesterday. As did McGuinness. He won everything in the air. Yeah. Barely saw anything out of Pyro, did you?
I didn't have a chance to check the Leeds lineup before the game, and then I was watching back the highlights, and I flicked through the Leeds team, and I was like, blimey, I didn't know Joel Perreault was even there.
He was in McGuinness's pocket the whole game, wasn't he?
Yeah, he did. I don't think he touched the ball.
No.
Yeah. I'll look that up. See how
many touches he had.
How many times he touched the ball? Because he was anonymous, absolutely anonymous. Apparently, he touched the ball 35 times, 3 in our box. But honestly, I had no idea he was dispossessed 4 times as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. The whole defence was absolutely fantastic. Against Leeds.
I mean, I'll go through the whole team, and I don't think any player had a bad game.
No. Even Elijah. Elijah was brilliant. Real shame that he's gone off injured now.
Again, like, we didn't create, numerous chances, but it was just the desire and the battle and the grit. And I think you're seeing that through Walsh and through Jordan Clark, the fact that those two have been playing together. They know how each other works. And, me and Phil were talking about it yesterday, when you've got 2 little midfielders in the middle like that, and you come against a team like Leeds, they're very similar with Woody Nunto, Aronson, Solomon. They're all small players, so they're good, and they're just little terriers, aren't they?
Yeah, they're so busy. Like, they're always running at you.
And what you can see is with Walsh now getting a lot more confidence, more minutes under his belt, it's giving Clark more freedom to be a little bit of a roamer. Because you see, the way he supported in our goal, very similar to the way we scored against Portsmouth.
Cross. Yeah, it was a brilliant cross. I didn't give him credit in my post-match because, to be honest, I just couldn't believe what was happening, so I didn't register it at the time.
That whole goal, from Walsh winning the ball on the edge of our box to Elijah battling, he might not have had the ball under control consistently, and it wasn't like the Alanga against...
no, it was more Shawamli's, wasn't it?
Yeah, but, to have the composure, and he laid it off to Clark, and, in the stand, it was like, he's got no support, because you thought, normally, that would be a first-time cross. In games behind, but, the composure to, do the little turn and dink it into the back stick for Jones to finish on the volley.
The way Jones ghosted in was brilliant. But
that is what we've been crying out for all season. When you play with your wing backs, you want your wing backs to be in at the back post, don't you? You want them there supporting, and lo and behold, when they are there, you score. I know I've been very encouraging with all our players. I actually think, apart from the goal, Jones was a little bit non-existent. He couldn't beat his man. His touch wasn't...
It was a tough man to beat, though. It's Junior Firpo. Is he a Brazilian international?
Is he?
I think he's been around the Brazilian squad. He's a good player for Firpo. He's not quite Roberto Carlos, but he's certainly one of the best fullbacks in the division.
Yeah.
And he could comfortably play in the Premier League. They signed him when they were in the Premier League for big money, I think, from Barcelona.
Wow.
I might be wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. So obviously Jones was mostly going backwards.
Yeah. I just thought on the moment, he just, when he got the ball, I didn't think he was ever going to beat his man, which you've just explained to me, who, I know he's up against Firpo. I didn't realise Firpo had such
a good pedigree.
Yeah. So, all right, I'll let Jones off a little bit with that then. But yeah, I think throughout the game yesterday, we just showed fight.
Yeah.
And that's what we need this stage of the season.
It's been missing all season. And I made you watch, before we did this, Tom Lockyer in the Sky Studios. Because obviously we were both at the game, so we didn't see this live.
Any of the build-up, no.
And other people have sent it on to us. So Tom Lockyer saying what a lot of fans haven't thought it. It's something that I've been saying a lot, that the players were getting too big for their boots. But Lockyer said it in a more diplomatic way. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah. There's obviously a fair bit of honesty there, and Lockyer's in and around with the players a lot of the time, isn't he? So he does know kind of what's going on at the club. I know he's doing a lot of punditry, isn't he? And fair play to him.
Winds me up. It winds me up, mate. Like punditry, golf, mate. Like you're the club captain. This is my soapbox here. You're the club captain, Tom. You should be on the bench. Like, you're getting a salary. Be on the bench. You see the team's in a tough spot. G them up from the changing room, from the bench.
Is he allowed to be on the bench?
There's no reason why. There's no reason why he can be. We have God knows how many people on the bench. They got enough seats there. Just sit on the bench. If he's not in the playing squad, he can sit on the bench.
I don't know if he had to be part of like the match day squad and within the coaching staff to be. Otherwise, you're in up with the directors possibly.
Got 9. Oh no, he's not registered, is he? But there are enough. There are enough people. Let's stick him in the seats behind. Stick him in the seats behind. I don't think him being in a studio in London, which I think is where the Sky studio is, with Prutton, is beneficial in the slightest. Yeah. It isn't. It's not even like they're in the TV studio in the corner of the ground, so he can go and whip round to the team. The team need captains. The team need leaders, and now people are starting to take account of how bad they've been.
Yeah,
but
going back to what he was saying anyway on Sky Sports. Yeah, he was just saying that a lot of the players felt that they deserved to still be in the Premier League, basically, wasn't it? And they were having a hard time to adjust to the relegation and playing at a different level, which you can understand. Once you get to like the pinnacle of the English football pyramid and you feel like you may have done enough, like I'm sure Elijah felt before his injury that, he belonged there. And so you can understand a sense of disappointment, but at the end of the day, what's in front of them is a season in the Championship. And, that is where they are. That is obviously where they belong with this club. And if they want to play for the badge, that's the mindset they need to have. Not, I wish I was still in the Premier League. Yeah. No, let's get back there. We know we can be good enough to play there. Take that fight through. So, I can understand where he's coming from. Is it a bit of a trying to kind of play a get out of jail free card? Maybe.
Well, he didn't mention Rob Edwards and his role in that at all. And in all fairness, it's not just Rob Edwards that was at fault for that. The players obviously at fault, but Rob Edwards saying to the players, "Oh yeah, you're all superstars. You're going to be back in the Premier League." Like, go back to that Three Counties interview that Rob Edwards did. He said, "Yeah, we're aiming for the title."
That's the aim.
That's the hubris. That is hubris right there. Overconfidence and is pride before a fall. And he must have been telling all the players, "You're superstars. You're superstars." And we've seen it like coming in here every Sunday. Under Rob Edwards, the players were never in on a Sunday because they assumed they were Premier League stars because they were the darlings of the Premier League, so they didn't have to put in the hard yards. Matt Bloomfield's got them all in on a Sunday. Every week I see it. Like, there's always activity at the Brace now on a Sunday. I love it.
Yeah.
And that's proper. But, Gary Sweet as well, he's guilty of hubris too, thinking we'll go straight back up. And there was no accountability. There was no checks and balances. And because everyone just presumed it would turn around of its own accord under Edwards, we let it go on the board let it go on for too long. Yeah. And the players were not getting pulled up on their piss poor attitudes. And I think Tom Lockyer could have gone harder, in my opinion, but he's not going to because he's got to look all these people in the eyes. Whereas I don't mind going harder because if Carlton Morris wants to come down here on a Sunday morning, he's welcome to. He's only around the corner if he's in at the Brace. But, I'll happily talk to any of the players and tell them exactly what I think of their performances this season. And if they're not saying, "You're right, we were not good enough," well, they're unless they're saying anything else other than that, they're wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm struggling to figure out whether Morris's performances at the moment are good or bad. Because he does a lot of things right knackered. In a sense of
do you
battling
think
and putting
he
his body
really
around.
Unfit?
But yeah,
he doesn't look up to it.
He hasn't got the press that he used to have.
He's
I
barely
know
jogging.
he's obviously had a groin twinge and stuff like that. Yeah. But
I thought he'd be able to say he's had a growth spurt. He's been hitting the HGH.
No, it's first half he seems non-existent, and then in the second half he seems to start putting in. He's still throwing himself around and trying to be a nuisance. And in the last 20 minutes, that's really, really helpful. But I don't know, you want more from him as a striker, don't you? You need more from him as a striker.
We're playing him and based on the virtue that there is literally no one else.
Yeah.
There is no one else. The only other striker we have on the bench is Nordas.
He had some tricky feet when he came on yesterday. I was very surprised to see.
Well, it's a shame Phil's not here because we could ask Phil, did he pass the eye test?
Yeah. But again, is that just, he's needed time to bed into English football because it's so different. It is so different.
It does take time. Look, Millwall have that Serb, Ivanovic, and he's been really good. He's been really good. So, give Nordas a little bit of time. I know he's not Serbian. Give him a little time to bed in, and he could be the real deal.
Could be.
He really could be. But back to Morris, towards the end, you could see he was knackered. There's no one else to come on for him. Ali would have been the other choice, wouldn't they? But he was brought on the wing anyway.
I like Ali. I think he's got. I know he's only getting cameos.
He's got feet, hasn't he?
Yeah,
he's got two of them.
Yeah.
No, he was very tricky. It was right in front of me. Yeah. He was in a tight spot, and he was bum, 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 and he got the ball out his feet. It was really nice. He's
physical as well. There's a couple of things he got away with. I saw him. He had one of the Leeds players around the neck. But to be fair, I don't think that's just out of nothing. You look at what Ampadu was doing yesterday. Dirty.
They are thugs.
Dirty player, horrendous. The tackle on Jones. I know he got the ball, but his trailing leg just took him out.
Yeah. And the one on our side of the pitch as well. I actually still can't remember who it was. I think it was Alfie. Alfie got completely taken out. Late and high.
That was Bogle, wasn't it? That was Bogle who got the yellow.
That was disgraceful.
It wasn't a red, but it was dangerous.
I've seen those given as reds because it was high and it was so late and it was cynical.
But the great thing is
trying to leave one in on him.
I haven't watched a lot of Leeds this season. I can imagine that's something they do to a lot of teams. And it doesn't get reciprocated, but there was a few passages of play where there were some challenges flying in. And it's just good as a fan to see the Luton players not back down to that and put themselves back across. You're going to give us some, we'll give some back. Yeah, it's so good to see. And
who do you think you're putting a tackle in? We got the most red cards in the league, mate. We'll leave you on the dirt. You'll be begging for mercy.
Yeah. So it's it is positive.
And in terms of survival hopes now, yes, the results didn't go the best way.
It was a very mixed bag, wasn't it?
Yeah, it could have been worse.
Could have been a lot worse.
It could have been better.
Yeah.
But at the same time...
you think Hull getting a 94th minute winner, that would have been nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Obviously, Stoke coming from behind to get a draw. Cardiff got a draw.
Yeah.
Oxford won. Plymouth won.
Yeah.
So really,
those draws could have been wins.
Yeah, and Derby lost, didn't they? Thank you, Alan Sheehan.
Derby lost, yeah. Thanks, She's dog. That was actually probably the best one because Derby were getting a real head of steam going, weren't they? Where they just
you're hoping that might be, and I think that's what getting a draw against Leeds just keeps that momentum of not suffering defeat. And knowing we can get
grounds. We didn't lose too much grounds. I think only two teams that we would have the possibility of catching, like Stoke. If Stoke had lost, then they would have been 2 points ahead of us.
And with our goal difference, it does make things a bit more difficult for us.
Yeah. We need points on the board, wins in the bag, and with the games, Stoke Tuesday night. Look, we're struggling with Tuesday night. We're recording this Sunday morning. Tuesday night, we got to get.
We always play Stoke. Midweek away.
I know. And to be honest, I was going to say the Posseries. Bet365 isn't the best hunting ground for Luton Town. I always remember.
We got a 2-0 win last time we played them away.
Yeah, I think about the bad ones like Nathan Jones's final game.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know why he took charge of that game. Don't know why. I think of that other one, I think it was a 3-0. It was one where Joe Allen completely tore us apart as well. It's going to be a tricky one, but then there's Blackburn who are just in free fall. and then Derby. So like 3 games. We
That's our
should
season.
be aiming for
9 points.
maximum points.
9 points. We have to.
Because that will take us
We have to beat our rivals. We have to beat the team which is in the worst form in the league.
Yeah. And that will take us to 48 points, which would be very good. And those are 2 6-pointers in there that are really, really important.
I'm pretty sure when we play Derby that weekend, because we play them on the Friday, don't we? I'm pretty sure Cardiff play Stoke that same game week.
That is massive.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Preston are playing all the teams at the bottom, aren't they?
Yeah, all these teams seem to be playing like Prestons and Swanseas and QPRs.
All that Wednesdays as well.
Yeah, all the teams that are in the middle, got nothing to play for.
Yeah.
And we've got relegation and playoffs.
Yeah. Yeah. But like the last 3, I think, is Bristol City, West Brom, Coventry. Or Bristol City, Coventry, then West Brom.
Yeah, West Brom away.
Which is...
they're all fighting, aren't they?
They are fighting. They really are, and it's I don't say concerning. Hopefully, by the time we play them, they literally have nothing to play for.
Yeah,
I mean,
resting players and stuff. You'd hope.
Yeah, or like they're comfortable, or they're out of the playoffs. Because like right now, like those are not the you want to do the work now, so you're not like absolutely bricking it towards the end of the season. Yeah.
Oh, it's But it's
positive.
good to talk about positive things and have that thing like we might do this.
We're actually looking up.
Yeah.
And we're not just resigned to, it's done. It's relegation. It's unfortunate, but it happens that all the teams around us have picked up and are in tremendous form at the moment. But that is what happens. I was saying to my dad yesterday, because I was talking about Oxford, I think, and like the teams we could catch. And this was before Oxford beat Sheffield United, obviously, because I just wrote that off as a loss for Oxford. I was like, if you asked me 10 games ago, could we catch Oxford? I would have said no. Like when you hit that amazing run of form like QPR, like Oxford did, you want to hit that tremendous run of form at the end of the season, not the middle of the season, because once that run of form, most teams in the bottom half, when that run of form ends, as you say, you lose all the momentum. Whereas if you pick that up with like 10 to 15 games to go, that run of form can really carry you up to somewhere special. But that happens with a lot of the teams at the bottom. They all hit that.
We can do this. We can do this. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it.
And one good result piggybacks onto another good result, and you keep climbing. And we've done really well to keep in touch with all the teams that have hit that form. Yes, it's really frustrating.
It's
like when we get a great result, or like remember Cardiff when we beat Cardiff, and a day later everyone else they back up those results as well.
Yeah.
But you see at the top, like Leeds dropped, and then we should really save this for the Championship show. Leeds dropped, and Sheffield United should have been like rubbing their hands.
Yeah.
Yes, here we go, time to put some daylight, and then they just fall flat on their face.
Yeah. And Burnley had gone from third to first.
Yeah, exactly. They capitalised. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Do you think they had the benefit of playing at the same time as Leeds, playing that early kickoff? They knew that if they win, that's it.
The pressure was off.
Yeah.
But it did reduce some of the pressure. I think Sheffield United got a lot of pressure on that. But taking it back to the relegation battle in Luton, it's all about the momentum and not blinking first.
Yeah.
It's really, really tough. On positive news, club accounts came out.
They did, didn't they?
They did, yeah.
48 million profit.
Oh, I actually didn't.
And
look
an
at the
apology for
numbers.
not investing in January last year.
Oh, yeah, that one. In terms of the greater transparency that we were promised, and since that interview where we were told there would be more transparency, we've had nothing other than board notes. No bonuses paid from the profit of the club to the board.
That must put a smile on your face.
No, well, there are other ways to hide revenue. I'll just tell you that. It can be hidden many different ways where you don't have to itemize it and list it. Yeah.
How do you know about that?
It could be hidden in the old wage bill. No. I'm a straight shooter, but my dad's an accountant. So we were having a very in-depth discussion before going in Saturday against Leeds, because this is released on a Monday. Look, fair play. Like, they all deserve a salary. They're doing a great job. They deserve the money they put in. Back out the club, fair play, and it is honestly, it's the healthiest the club has ever been.
Yeah,
the long-term future of the club is safeguarded with the development of Power Court, which will be around the corner from here. It should be amazing. It'll be really good.
They had a supporters trust meeting a couple of weeks ago, didn't they? They were saying that the costs of the new ground have just skyrocketed from the change in capacity. I think they were saying it was going to be around about 75 million for a 17,500 stadium, and
I think
now
they budgeted 100 mil originally,
and now it's going to be anywhere in between 100 and 200 just for the extra.
I'm not surprised.
Which
those hospitality lounges, they got to be really nice, don't they?
Things that I've heard and kind of rumours and things is that the capacity's been increased on the council. The council asked them, told them in some way that we should have a higher capacity. And that's why it's all...
Infrastructure-wise, look, the stadium being in the heart of Luton will only be good for like High Town and the centre of town. It'll rejuvenate it. It'll bring more people in, and right next to the station, you got the Dart there as well.
Yep.
Imagine the amount of day tourists that come here, literally 15 minutes to Luton Airport, get a cheap flight in from Europe. Oh yeah, I want to do a stadium tour. Oh,
brand new one.
Yeah, Luton Town Stadium right there. Brilliant.
Have a look at the trophies that we've won.
Yeah.
Won't be able to go see any of them in any of the local clubs to us.
There's going to be a hell of a... I actually did the Kenilworth Road tour a couple of weeks ago.
Oh, nice.
It's a brilliant tour. And funnily enough, new dates have just been released up to the end of July. I recommend check it out. Really good. You go around the whole stadium, like even walk the gantry, and you go into the TV studio hospitality room. That is just a hospitality room now. You can rent that on match day. How much do you reckon that is for a match day? Seats 12 people. Meal, pre-match drinks, post-match cheese board.
You're probably looking at about maybe 50, 60 quid per person. So I don't know, what, £800?
That's 3k.
3,000.
3,000. Yeah, I know. I think they got the price points completely wrong in terms of commercial. Yeah. And that's why a lot of these things are empty. Or they like flog them off to their mates or current people.
So you're actually looking at 250 quid per person.
Exactly. Yeah. Quick maths. That's really good.
I should be an accountant.
Yeah, you should be. They do it all with spreadsheets these days.
Formulas and
exactly.
I'm no good with algebra.
It's not algebra. I mean macros and equals, brackets, sum, close brackets.
Sounds like algebra.
No, it's Excel formula. Right, but yeah, and also lastly, just fair play to everyone that was at the stadium yesterday. Best atmosphere we've had for a long time. And
I was on the phone to my dad yesterday, who wasn't at the game, and he said on the TV cameras, the atmosphere didn't sound like brilliant.
It's hard. So
it is hard.
Where they place the atmosphere mics. Isn't it?
And I had to say to him that, like, at the start, the fans were right behind. Obviously, we got the goal, brilliant. And then we had the 25-minute applause for the two Leeds fans, which was well respected. And they scored just after that, didn't they? And it kind of did take a bit out of the crowd. But after that, whenever we were, feeling a bit of pressure, the fans got behind them, they cheered, and that's what the players will need. Last 6 games is when we are under the cosh, bring that Kenilworth atmosphere. because it makes a hell of a difference, doesn't it? And
Yeah.
you know, the players always say it, and you know, it is true. You know, it is the 12th man at the end of the day, isn't it? So
they feed off it. Like after Makose made that tackle, like the way he was going with the crowd, like everyone was applauding him. He was like,
bring him in.
Yeah, he was loving it.
And that's the thing. And when they put that on the field as well, you know, we will reciprocate. They give us things to cheer about, but we've got to, you know, do our bit as well.
We've got to do our bit.
Yeah.
And
I think
I've never really bought into the 12th man thing, but I can see it.
Yeah.
I can see it. And also, nice shirt, mate.
Yes, well, it was Claude Napka Day yesterday, wasn't it? So 16 years since we lifted more silverware.
Yeah.
And
not a major trophy, but still, it was a hell of a game.
Yeah, it is a major trophy. It's
no,
the biggest trophy for Leagues 1 and Leagues 2.
Yeah, but I mean, in terms of footballing major trophies, you have the FA Cup, the League Cup, and those are the pretty much major trophies.
It's still a trophy.
Yeah, it's still a trophy.
Have to go through group stages.
And winning that as well, like we beat Scunthorpe, who were going up to the championship that season.
They were, and we were going down.
Yeah,
it was a great day.
It was a great
what
day.
A day that was. So I thought I'd wear it to celebrate.
That was my first day out of Wembley.
How was it?
Yeah.
That must have been mine as well.
2009, first day out of Wembley for me.
Yeah.
And then a few followed after that, and then even going to the Etihad.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Brutal. But
that's the most recent trip to Wembley.
Yeah, exactly. Bookending. Yeah, hopefully that's not the last trip to Wembley. We'll see what happens over the coming years, won't we? But that's us done. Big thank you to our host, the Bricklayers Arms, the Camera Award-winning Bricklayers Arms, South Bedfordshire's best pub. Get on down here. If you're a Luton fan, come in here on match days. Come on down here. If you're just in the Luton area and you want a drink before you got a train to catch, just make sure you come on down. Thank you to Blackstar Amplification and Carry On for the toys on the table that make this pod work. And also a shout out to our sponsors, the Record Shop in Amersham. Make sure you get down to the record shop to collect your vinyl because, Wedge,
it's Record Store Day next Saturday, 12th of April. So obviously it's a big day for all the kind of record shops and independent record shops and things. So I don't know whether they've got any offers on or anything like that, but it's certainly a big day in the record shop calendar. So yeah, get yourselves down there, have a look.
Yeah, if you're a vinyl geek, get down there. There's also, tell them that you watch us, and then you'll get a cheeky little discount. Do it. It makes sense. But that's us. And all that's left is to say,
come on, you Hatters.
Come on, you Hatters.